How many times did you bath last night? Mine was just 4. Just 4. Okay? So you keep pouring the water. Since you can't sleep because of the heat, pour the water at least to take care of yourself, to ensure that you don't come under heat stroke. It's very important this period. Welcome. My name is Sijoma. We have lined up some beautiful programs for your viewing pleasure this morning. We are starting with press review, but that will be after this break. Stay. Okay, welcome again. Joining me this morning, Simon Nwafo Eze Ofoma. He's a public affairs analyst, also a lawyer. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome. And then Arinze Anebunam is also a public affairs analyst, and then he is the secretary of NAN in Anambra State. Am I right?
Yes, very well, you are.
Okay, you're welcome.
You guys are looking like this is the pre-edition of the Valentine.
Oh yeah, this Valentine, I don't understand it this year's own. It just managed to fall inside Ash Wednesday. So maybe we'll just move it further, celebrate it today. Tomorrow it will be Ash Wednesday because it can be mourning and celebrating at the same time. Okay, that's by the way. Welcome. It's a love month, so it's red, yes. Red. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, what do we have coming from our website this morning? Maltreatment. Anambra State Commissioner for Women Affairs assures Orifite widow of protection and then justice. These are the stories you find from our website this morning. The second one says, Mrs. Soludo offers nutritional tips on preparation of healthy smoothies. I think that's what we need this period. These smoothies to cool you off, prepare it, put it in the freezer, and then take it later. If you see the light to even freeze it. Beggy. Operatives of Anambra Police Command nab suspected ringleaders of Ihala court killings. And then AFCON, Mrs. Soludo congratulates Super Eagles. These and many more are the stories you'll find from our website this morning, www.absradiotv.orca.com. Okay, yes. Recently we have seen a lot of issues coming from the Ministry of Women Affairs. There's a lawyer that has been declared wanted because of how she maltreated her house help. And now there's this other widow from Orifite that is undergoing a lot of assault from the brother-in-law. Okay, so when have we become this way? I think when you talk about this kind of thing in the past, as a former, you say that such things won't happen in Anambra. But it does appear a whole lot of things are happening here negatively.
Yes, you are very correct because even nobody can vow for anything in Nigeria again. You see the situation of the country. Many people tend to deviate from the normal life pattern and the values of life. So, and there's some other, like the one that happened in Ozobel. You see that they have come to disown the woman who wanted to sell his two sons. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Ozobel people came. So what I'm saying is some people can even relocate. Some people can come into some areas from different areas, come into Anambra State and be misbehaving. Everybody will take them to be from Anambra State. I remember the governor once said that out of most of the miscreants and the people who kidnap, that 99% or 90-something% of them are from one particular location. So that is not to say that you will not have any bad eggs in Anambra State. But what I'm saying is people must take it easy. We know that the economy is biting very hard. People are misbehaving. And I thank the Ministry of Women Affairs, the wife of the governor, and the other day I was saying that some of our commissioners in the state are living up to expectation. And I say kudos to them. They are nipping the things on the board. and I must congratulate them.
Okay. Thank you very much. Arinze, you might want to chip in something concerning this.
Basically, I'll just do a comprehensive approach.
Anambra being in the news for.
Women Affairs is doing absolutely well, and the wife of our governor is doing absolutely well too. And I also want to appreciate the operations of the Anambra Police Command. One of the things to happen to amplify safety and security is when we begin to pin down these guys who pioneer insecurity and some kind of distress in society. So it's a good one to them produce.
Okay, there seems to be a shift, a paradigm shift since the inception of this new CP. Some people say it's because he's been around, okay, so he knows the nook and crannies of this state, and then how to catch these criminals. And the whole of the, otherwise, I think he has recorded a huge success.
Yes.
I had with him last year, and he said something that he's an intelligent officer. He plays grassroots. He deals with the people at the grassroots. As a matter of fact, the information that will get to you must come from these men down there. And he has this appreciable relationship with the people down there.
At the grassroots. And that is why, that is why some people are advocating for police, state police. Because it is only when you are very conversant with the terrain, with the grassroots. So some people are advocating that, are saying that is one of the advantages of state police, because the people who will man the state police are the people from the locality, from the state, and they will know the life pattern of their people, and they will know every nook and cranny, as you said. They will know the roots of those criminals. I'm not supporting or saying against state police, but this is an evidence of what somebody who is. And I'm not. That's what I said. We are not coming to discuss that now. But this is an evidence that somebody who is very conversant with the situation on ground will deal with it more.
Remi Adoye is not from Anambra State, though he had a greater number of his career period here in the state.
He's conversant with the terrain here. That's what we are saying. He's not from Anambra State.
Okay.
But he has been here.
All right. Okay, moving on now. AFCON. Mrs. Soludo congratulates Super Eagles, and some people say they don't deserve any congratulations.
No, they deserve.
What do you have
they
to
deserve.
say?
I support the wife of the governor. They deserve. The only thing is, it's unfortunate that maybe sometimes things don't go the way you expect them. The Igbo, they used to say, people were disappointed sort of in the last match because of one misplacement or the other. The way they expect people to feature, or the players or the coach, the role they play. Because right from the inception, before the match, I was reading, some people started faulting the pattern the coach used. They saw some shortcomings. But that does not mean, that is one thing with the human beings. You cannot use because of one and they discard all their effort. Even when they started, nobody knew they would get to this extent. They had been a solid team. They showed the determination, resilience, even with the home crowd. They defeated this thing.
As much as I know, at some point I left the match because my pressure was going on. But the truth was, the referee was not even on their side. That's the simple truth.
I didn't even watch that.
Don't go there. The Warriors played very well.
They played.
Don't just go there.
They defeated Nigeria in all departments. That's why I said,
There were other forces.
other than men no kamuki mechi kamai. That's the point.
The same people playing all the way. They were exhausted.
The same thing with Ivorians.
At some point,
So Ivorians have not been playing.
Osimhen was leaping at some point in that match.
That is true. And that's why the coach ought to have read. Some people was
You know that
the coach,
Sebastian Hola
even
defeated Cancer,
Aina and so many of them. The coach ought to have read it and they made some changes.
That's one he had. He utilized it very well.
Okay, anyway. It's okay. Congratulations to them. Some people were saying that they didn't even know that we were supposed to participate in that because of a lot of things that have going on in this country. Your parents are hungry. You're playing food match. There's no power supply anywhere in the country for you to even watch the match. Some people are even wondering how you get to know Aside social media where you get some of these editors.
Some
Even the
Nigerians
social
didn't
media, you
even
need
wish
to
them
charge
to
your
win
phone.
because of the situation of the country.
You know, so whichever way, we are here. We thank God. Silver is not bad. Anyway. Okay, let's see what is on the pages of newspaper this morning. Our first paper this morning is the Daily Times. And on the front page of the Daily Times, I have, we want our own police now. Uh-oh. Okay. States to National Assembly. That's the beginning of the story. We want our own police now. Did they hear us talking about state police? Okay. And down here, what else do we have coming from Daily Times? Daily Times will always want to handle one big story at a time. Labour moves at 1 million naira minimum wage. So that this money will become real paper. And then insecurity, adequate infrastructure, stalling Nigeria mining sector growth. This is coming from Carlo. And no plans to tax online content creators. FIRS says that Nigeria, US to investigate death of Access Bank CEO. Okay. That's all coming from the Daily Times. Let's look at Punch newspaper, please. The Punch newspaper. The banner headline there. Wigwe, federal government, US begin talks as officials test copters wreckage. Let's see the riders there. NTBS relocates choppers engine, rotor blades, landing gears today. Nigeria to support US. And then Abiodun Dangote orders visit Wigwe Ogunbanjo's family. A late Access Bank CEO kinship protest. Okay, you may need to pick Punch newspaper. This one is very interesting. I want to know why they are protesting, please. And then down here, IMF forecast $8 billion. IMF forecasts $8 billion fall in Nigeria's 2024 foreign reserve. Like I want to hear from IMF again. Kidnappers killed our driver for talking. Ekiti school worker. And then NAFDAC insists on such alcohol hoodlum attack officials. Okay. The next paper, this one is the Vanguard newspaper. Buhari's reckless policies triggered current hardship. This is coming from Sanusi. Is it the Sanusi I know? And then Oshimole. Buhari's reckless policies triggered current hardship. Okay, and down here, economy, we are almost on the way to Venezuela. PDP governors are saying this, that we are almost on our way to Venezuela. Where is Venezuela? Okay. Do we have another story of interest here? No. One more paper and then we get to talking. Daily Independent is the next paper. Only restructuring will fix Nigeria. Ohaneze, Pandev, MBF. Are they up again? Decry high cost of living and then insecurity. Sexual harassment trial. 2 phones seized from Professor Ndifon admitted as evidence. Access holding shares plummet by 6.26% after Wigwe's death. The show goes on. Despite headwinds, insurance sector's CAG averaged 25% growth in 5 years. Okay, gentlemen, from the stories we have read out, the first one is the Daily Times, where we saw the story that is talking about state police, that the state is now telling National Assembly that we want our own state police. When you state states, what do you mean? Is it the state government or the people coming from different states of the Federation? Let me start with you, Eze Ofoma.
Yes, that was what we were saying. You know, there are some merits and demerits, advantages and disadvantages in state police. But one would not kick against it. Why? When some senators, some leaders, even Ned Nwoko and so on, are advocating for people to bear arms, ordinary citizens, for government to allow everybody to start. So you can see that even when Buhari was here, at a stage he said he was overwhelmed. And the one was expecting when a leader is overwhelmed, the best thing is for you is to resign. Just as that is the point. Because you are telling the people who elected you that I can no longer do anything. Yeah?
No resignation in
That is unfortunate. It's a ridicule. It's a mockery. How can a leader, Nibo they say, Abolo dibia ko chuo mo tonu ziana chu dibia. You are called to do a duty, and you are telling the people that you cannot offer any help. That is the then the Constitution says that security and the welfare of the people is the paramount this of the government, should be the primary purpose of the government. Since you cannot provide that security, you could not do that primary purpose, then will you do the secondary one? And then under the American Declaration of Independence, they said that God created all men equal, and he gave them certain inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And the men by themselves elected government. And any government once elected, which could not achieve these purposes, will be destroyed and replaced with another. When you are a leader, when you are in governance, then you cannot fulfill that primary purpose. You're supposed to be replaced. So coming to this present government, since they cannot provide, the other day I was speaking in the studio there, I said, what baffles me is that all these killings, insecurity, hardship everywhere, then our leaders, the presidency, the people will be flying all over the world, feeling unconcerned. Instead of, you see people are dying there. I gave the narration that I have not seen a man that his children are being killed and he will be watching football. I have never seen that type of man. So that is the point. Coming to this man that died, Mwigwe, is very unfortunate. The government of Nigeria and that of US, it's very unfortunate for such a thing to happen in US. Let me stop so far.
People die everywhere. Okay, can we look at this minimum wage, 1 million naira minimum wage from coming from the labor to the federal government?
Before I jump into that, let me just have a little on this state policing. The only way, I've said this before in this space, the only way we can actually sufficiently achieve state policing is when we have a mental revamp, when we decide to be sincere with ourselves. Because the fact is, whether state police or the federal agencies or whatever, if the people does not have a change of mind, if we still have that corrupt set, whatever is playing out at the federal level will still be repeated here. And as a matter of fact, state policing, if we don't go objective, the senators, the gladiators from different fields of life would actually want to play some kind of overbearing influence. And away from that, somebody was saying something yesterday, 1 million minimum wage, how achievable is that? It is truly, if we take a study of the economic strength of Nigeria, despite the fact that those who are in the corridors of power are not doing anything to actually see how much the people are favored, is achievable. Yes, but the problem now is, what is the powering factor? The NLC, what is their objective in pushing for this? And as a matter of fact, we know that most things, let me not say everything that happens in Nigeria, is as a way of business. If those who wield powers in NLC, by virtue of chance, by virtue of appointment, by virtue of anything, sits with the presidency, I can tell you that this minimum wage may not become a reality. If they get solved in my parlance, we may not be talking about it, but the truth is, civil servants should be paid well. People should be able to, if you see the way the inflation is happening, it's disheartening. I don't want to really.
Okay, is it even supposed to be a solution to the problem Because when you shun out too much money in the
That's
out there, and
then the money becomes even right now our money is worthless.
Okay, let's continue, gentlemen. I would like to find out from you, Arinze, this WeWe case, the crash that happened in California. Do you suspect any kind of sabotage or anything at all?
Truth is, sabotage.
There are a lot of things out there in the social media. Some people say
that's why I'm telling you, it's unfortunate.
The anonymous warned last year, October, warned him that somebody is after your life and the person wants to wipe the whole family. And then there are a whole lot of things that you find out there in social media. But what, like Ofoma said, how can we have such problem in America where if something like that happen in Africa, say this kind of thing cannot happen in America. So how come they did not detect the chopper was bad and the whole lot of things, even the weather is very bad like they say that we started hearing. Why would they move? Do you understand? There are a whole lot of things that you don't expect, could play out in America, but this thing really happened and this family was wiped out.
Despite being America is still. Americans are humans like us.
But they are advanced society.
Definitely.
Give it to them.
For me, people are actually suspecting and alleging sabotage, but I see it as a way of carelessness on whichever part. And truth to it is, if we investigate, first is to find out this chopper, who doesn't really belong to the government, is it private and all of that. But it's unfortunate, and it's a slap on the strength, on the technological advancement of America. But I think that this can actually happen under the
That's the whole thing I was saying.
The U.S. government, the U.S. team, the aviation sector and all of that, in partnership with Nigeria, possibly Nigeria is beginning to agitate, to investigate why that should be. Yeah, but however, whatever investigation is, even if somebody is found guilty, somebody is found to have sabotaged the safety of that aircraft, it's unfortunate we've lost the man, his wife and his son. And I don't know how.
You know why I summarize that it's unfortunate?
That's why it will happen again. If you don't investigate, it will happen.
For the fact that the American government, the reason they gave is that the weather was, it was the weather. It's not supposed to be. Yes, that's the point. Then what is the purpose of the American advancement we are pursuing? If it were to be in Nigeria, we would say it's not. It's something.
But unfortunately, sir, this thing happened, and Nigerians have not read, have not seen, have not heard anybody actually talking about the American government. But if it happened in Nigeria,
that's why I said. That's why I said it's unfortunate to happen.
Okay, let's move on, gentlemen. Buhari's reckless policies triggered current hardship. This is coming from Sanusi and Oshimole. We don't even know who to believe. We're going to join it with this other story. Economy, we are almost on the way to Venezuela. PDP governors are saying this. Yes.
And that is very correct. Even right now, I have the other day I was invited to speak on the demonstrations in Niger, in southwest, and so on and so forth. Every reasonable human being in Nigeria now will agree with me that things are very, very bad. And the government doesn't seem to, show people that they have solution to it. That is the annoying thing. You don't give people hope. All we are hearing is give us more time. We understand your plight. We share palliative, and then tighten your belt. This and that. Sometimes I start to reason. Do you know, this thing gives me a concern. You are telling people tighten their belt. People are dying. Look at a woman. Be bold to say that she wanted to sell her 2 sons.
Okay, before we get there, let's look at this, the issue at hand. Is it actually Buhari's reckless policy that triggered this current hardship?
Yes. Now look at it. The Buhari's reckless policy contributed a lot. Buhari, when he was
What are
here,
the reckless policies?
okay,
Number one.
like now, I think this, what is it called? Some ministries and agencies are being taxed now by the audit this thing of the federation, that they overspent, they spent things not budgeted, and that is recklessness. That is supposed to, that is number one. Okay, look at all the policies of, some of the policies of Buhari. The railway that was built from here to Niger, why even the people of your country in southeast does not benefit. That is recklessness. Look at even, but why I am not particularizing on Buhari is, Buhari was telling us it was PDP. Now APC, Ashomere and so on are telling us it is Buhari. That's this shifting of blame.
Would the president execute any project without the approval of the National Assembly?
Okay, and I'm coming to you, but I want you to join it with this other story where Ohaneze and Pandev and MBF say that only restructuring will fix Nigeria. So let's move it, let's join it with these two other stories. We are almost on our way to Venezuela, and then Buhari's reckless policies triggered. And hasn't this present government taken any reckless policy that brought us to where we are?
Now, if the past administration actually had reckless policies, it behooves of the present to correct the policies. I don't want to go dabbling into the politics and logic of back and forth.
Of the past.
If there was an error from the past, the present should handle the past. It's a magnified expression of how do I put that now? Lack of capacity, inability to actually take charge.
How can you take charge when they are coming in? They will tell you that he's basically said that he will start from where Buhari started. So if we have been experiencing reckless policies, that means we're experiencing more reckless policies.
See, it's unfortunate, and it beats my imagination that Oshomole would actually speak in that manner. But as a matter of fact, I know them to be major forces backing whatever APC is doing.
But he was the boy. He was the boy of Tinubu right from even in Buhari's regime.
Apart from what they say, what do you think that brought us to where we are today?
Incompetence and the inability of the citizenry to go objective. You know, we always play these political sentiments, tribal sentiments, ethnicity, and all of that, forgetting the fact that by the time these men get to that place, they will turn back at us and they see us as praise. The only thing truly that will salvage our situation now is restructuring. Then how will that restructuring come? It will come if, starting from the state assembly, the state governments, the National Assembly will be objective. I keep telling people, the only arm of government that will keep the executive on their toe is the legislations.
Is it the one that told us on the day that sworn in that whatever bill that comes from the executive, they will honor it, that they are here to complement the efforts of the executive? Let's move on. Let's look at the rest of the papers we have and see if there's any other place we can touch. But before we get to that place, I was waiting for somebody to just say exactly what brought us to where we are, which is, of course, the two policies that this guy took.
When he came in,
removal of the oil subsidy and devaluation of the naira.
Without preparation. You didn't study this.
The policy agitated.
Okay. Let's look at the rest of the papers. The Nation newspaper is our next paper. Governors, NSA joined forces to battle insecurity and food crisis. With the writer there, panel raised on police reform. PDP governors, OK state police. Why didn't they do it while they were in power? Okay, Nigeria's oil production up by 177,000 per barrel a day in January. Where are you keeping the money? We want to see it. Has the money started getting into the central bank like was proposed? Oh, okay, I don't want to say this. Okay, the next paper is the Guardian newspaper. 113.8 million on undocumented Nigerians raised out on population size. Is it the population? Is that why we are hungry? Okay, CBN informs court of 6.2 million released for 2023 poll. Abduction, father of slain Anambra lawyer slums, dies. This is very pathetic, very, very pathetic. I hate this kind of news coming from this side of the world. NSIB collaborates with U.S. agency to probe crash. Okay, we are waiting for the results. NLC pegs wage against Naira depreciation amidst call for urgent action against hardship and hunger. And they pegged it at 1 million Naira, of course, as a minimum wage. Okay, the last paper this morning, Daily Post, or Daily Trust, please. There's hardship in the land, says Kanu Emir. Is it talking to the blinds? Things will get better, president's wife. Nigeria almost becoming Venezuela, PDP governors. Labour mauls 1 million Naira as new minimum wage. And then citizens suffering from Buhari's policies, Oshimole. Okay, this is a summary of all the stories we have seen in the other papers. Daily Trust just summed them up. Federal government resolves January salary delay, lost workers' pensions. We won't return to ECOWAS. Niger junta leaders vow. Those boys. Petrol price hits 700 Naira in 700 Naira for 1 liter in Sokoto, Meduguri, and others. As is the hot, Mabolo Maka. As is the hot, fuel Luna 700 Naira. It's a very horrible case. I just hope that something will just happen drastically and then everything will just turn around. Yes, let's let's talk on something before we go.
Yes, when you were saying, time is always that is why when he summarized it as the present regime as incompetence, I kept my mood. Because talking of the policies taken so far, the other day I was saying that this will show that some of us will come into administration or governance unprepared. You didn't have any plan at all because you knew the situation. You saw the problems. You were here. But then you didn't have any plan how to alleviate the. You just came in just to answer, it is my turn. And then you are now giving us reasons. Take that, give us chance, this and that. Why the leaders are taking one person? The other day I was reasoning it. It pains me. One person will be enjoying a car of 160 million in a nation where another man is not receiving a month. This is only for car. There is no wardrobe allowance there. There's no newspaper allowance. There is no, you don't talk of the salary demand they take. Then in another man in the same nation will be begging for 30,000 Naira minimum wage. And look at now, we are talking of 1 million Naira. But some people, some state governments have not even paid 30,000.
Okay, what is the magic you think that will happen or this present administration will do and things will get better like the president's wife?
The other day I was reading it. The magic is if the citizenry will summon courage, either to go to the nation and stand that unless you people know what we call mass revolution, not necessarily with the violence, but they can stand on the, just like the Niger, the people from Niger State. They didn't plan it. Women just came out and we are shouting that the hardship is too much. One bag of rice, 70-something thousand. So it will get to a time.
If they get to the National Assembly or the villa, what would they be telling?
They will say nobody will, and unless all of them will assign that. First of all of you will cut. It's not even what all of you will cut your allowances half. We start from there.
And they tell you they have cut and you leave. Let's summarize.
I would still maintain that to get Nigeria working, irrespective of the restructuring, we start from the citizenry. I agree with Council. If we decide to get things working, however we want, insofar as we go diplomatic and objective about it, we will achieve it. I will tell you something. Let me use my constituency as an example. The National Association of Nigerian Students. Presently, we have 2 national presidents, and they meet with the presidency. I don't want to get into the logic. I was telling students that I said, this is the unfortunate thing about students. It's the unfortunate thing about the citizens. We are now taking sides. You come into the system, you see people whose children are final year students, whose children are even comrades. They are contesting offices in the student struggle. If we don't decide to go objective, we will never see suffering. And that's why everybody is aiming at politics as a way of escaping
A way of
poverty.
life, a way of pursuing forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Simon Nwafo Ezofoma. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you.
And thank you, Arinze Anebunam, a public affairs analyst and also the scribe of the National Youth Students Union.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Welcome very much. Well, that is where we are drawing the curtain to make sure that nobody gets depressed this morning as we talk about these things. Or somebody will just pick stone and throw at somebody on the screen and then break your screen. Okay, God keeping us. Tomorrow we'll be here for press review. God bless you.